Yeah, a little wet out there. It was nice. We had fun. Um, yeah, so it's unusual to come back after a week, but to us it was kind of like warp week in that just kind of was a little disorienting and all that. But we're back, and today was exactly a Monday like we always do, and with a little bit of something special on the top for practice today to get us back working, and we're getting ready for a huge week coming up.
How you guys doing health-wise after the bye?
Better. We're better than we were. There's some guys that are going to get a chance to jump back out, and it helps anybody that got banged up in the game. So we're hoping that this will be a really productive week for returning a few guys, so we'll see how it goes.
It looked like Charles got back today.
He was on the practice field today. Yeah, he worked today, and he looked quick and nifty and all that kind of stuff. We'll see how he does when we come back. As we get through the week, see if he can maintain a practice level that allow him a chance to play.
How is Jamal?
He's on the final stage coming up, getting cleared, and pretty promising thought that he will be cleared tomorrow.
Gino's knee, how's that doing?
He's fine.
You did a little something special at the beginning of practice, you said? What did you do?
Huh? No, not really. No, not really.
Who benefited most from having a bye this early? Was it the guys that were injured? Was it coaches to be able to self-scout? Was it players just to rest their bodies?
Yes.
But who did?
Oh, who got the most out of it?
Who got the most?
I did. I'm sure. I feel the most prepared coming back this week. I'm way ahead. If you remember, I never gripe one way or the other about when the buys come because you can't do anything about it. So we just try to make the most of it. For us right now, we like all of the conversations go to, and we have guys having a chance that have been banged up early in the year that have a chance to get back out, and so we're going to take full advantage of that. We've been making it through with guys stepping up and doing a nice job, and we're really proud of that. But this will give us a chance to get a little healthier, and then we'll try to bank on that as we move forward. You never know how it's going to go, but this is it. It seems like we can take full advantage of it right now, and we'll try to get better.
What kind of self-scouting? How much do you do?
We do all kinds, everything we can think of. Really, honestly, everything we can think of. Every way of looking at it. Look at it from our perspective. Look at it from our opponent's perspective. Look at it from a historical perspective, and just try to gain as much as we can, and use this week to make sure that we get a little bit better and a little smarter.
How much is it breaking tendencies?
Well, it's still early in the year. You've got 4 games under you, so teams aren't quite sure yet. You got to get past the first 4 or 5 games to know. So it's in both directions. We can't count on everything that we're seeing, but you have to make some assessments, and you make some judgments on it and to move forward. But it's not really locked in yet. We need a few more games before that. Our team, other teams will be more committed to what they're doing, and we'll see them kind of come back around through that first cycle. And but it's still important, and we can't afford not to know. So we do everything like it's going to tell us all the secrets, but it's not always quite that way.
As you step back and look at the season through 4 games of the last week or whatever you're assessing, just how do you feel about overall the team where you're at right now?
I really like the last 3 weeks, and the second half of the first game. I'm not, like I've told you, and that's still kills me that we were the way we were. But the last 3 games, we've really stayed in kind of in a mode where we're playing with the same kind of focus, same kind of intensity. We feel like we're gaining on some things. We're getting better at some stuff. We finished this similar fashion, which is something that's really important to me, telling me how the mentality of our team is, and so we've had 3 really good solid settings that we've been through, a couple of ways and a home, big trips, that we've been through, and the whole thing. So we've gained a lot. Hopefully we can keep going.
We didn't get a chance to talk to you last week after Devon
I'm sorry about that, you guys. Jeez, I know.
No, but after Witherspoon winning the Player of the Week award, when you went back and looked at that game on film and what he did, just what did you see? I guess how for a guy's 3rd start and just everything that he did.
Yeah, he's really fallen in line, kind of like what he's already shown us. He practices really well. He really tries hard in practice and positions himself to make his plays, so we can anticipate. And we already trust that he's a playmaker. We've seen that, so we're not really surprised. We're just excited that it's fitting together. We didn't know, that he would be able to pick stuff up as well as he has. We were hoping, but he has not even really flinched at learning the nickel stuff in conjunction with the corner stuff. So that's just a real positive for us as we move forward in terms of matchups and how we deploy our guys and all that. So really thrilled to see him have that much success, and now I'm anxious to see how he responds to all the attention and all that, and I we'll see. Both those guys have a chance to be okay this week. We'll see how they go. It's going to take us a bit before we know, but both guys have a chance. So.
And Trey Brown looked like he was back.
Trey was on the practice field today. Yeah.
Abe Lucas. Sorry, I asked the same question. Abe Lucas, how's he doing?
Abe's not quite around the corner yet to say he's say we can put him on the practice field yet. So I don't know if it's another week or not. I'm not sure yet. But we're not ready. Like if we're practicing today, which we did, he didn't go. So we'll look at it again on Wednesday and see if there's a chance. But we're at this point we've invested so much time in his recovery. We don't want to screw it up and bring him back too fast. So we'll be more patient with it and just see what happens here. But he's going to make it back here within the next couple of weeks.
What kind of factor could Jason Peters still be? He told us he wasn't here not to play, but where is he?
Yeah, well, he's right there right now. It's been enough time in preparation for him to get back and make sure that he's in condition and all of that. He had a big day today, and he's going to have a really important week in competing for playing time.
Could he play on the right side?
Yes, yeah, he can play guard and right tackle, and he's done it all.
Kenny McIntosh and Derek Young are eligible?
Yeah, Derek is really close. He's a little bit closer than Kenny is. Derek's running and doing all kinds of stuff. Kenny's getting back. But not quite yet. That's it's still another week or so. Derek's got to prove it. He's doing all of the running stuff right now. He's not ready to practice yet.
When you do the self-scout, how much have you leaned into analytics the last few years?
As much as we know how to. Really, we're trying to use everything we got.
Pass rush wise, the numbers last 2 weeks have been really good. What are you seeing out of that group as that continues?
Yeah, they've really started to mesh together and taking advantage of the game plan and the calls and listening to the right voices out there to make the calls and to make the adjustments and things like that. I can't tell you how much Jay Reed is, how important he has been to us. He's such a veteran that he really commands the calls in the system and the game plan and all of that. So he's a big factor. And as the guys communicate with him, they just seem to get more well-versed to take advantage of what we're seeing, and sometimes it's sets and alignments and formations and D&Ds and all those things. It's a lot of stuff for guys to handle, and Jaron is really good at it, so he's helping. I mean, the other guys are doing well too, but the young guys outside other than Chenna are the guys that will improve the most, and so they're catching on. And our batting average is much better with our calls right now, so we'll try to keep going there.
Pete, I can't imagine you'd expect 11 sacks a game in that front, but to see the jump that they have made, what makes you think that's sustainable? That kind of jump that you guys have made the last couple?
Well, there's no chance that there's that kind of chance to sustain that, but it's almost a historic type of an event. But we've really been active the last 3 weeks, and it's really changed. We've really shifted gears, and so we just try to stay after it and see if we can have another game where we can be a factor in the game. But that's a pretty crazy number. But we'll try. We're shooting for it.
Overall, in that last 3-game stretch that you played so far, what do you specifically liked about your pass defense versus how it was in the Rams?
Well, we're not playing that quarterback. He's a great quarterback. We've really seen good throwers and guys that can command the game and all. The Carolina game, they send back the vet, at us as well. So, but all in all, we've seen really good guys, and so we're just trying to grow with it. What was the question? Yeah. We're doing better. We're just doing better. We're fitting together. You can see us cleaner, sharper. Communication is the best it's been to this point, and we have high expectations that we can keep going, and as always, it fits. The coverage is a little bit tighter, and so the ball's held a little bit. Our disguises are a little bit cleaner and sharper and more effective, and that helps. And then the rush helps the ball coming out, faster. Everything kind of feeds off of one another. So we have a chance to really keep getting better. We're really just getting there. It's not a finished product. We're still moving. So.
Where's Kobe Bryant in his recovery?
He wasn't quite ready to go today. He's closer than he's been. Had some trouble with his footwear and stuff. It's bothering him a little bit, so he's not quite ready yet. But he's getting close.
Jared Reed, is he okay?
Yes. He got banged up, but it's been he's had an extra week and all that, so he should be okay.
DK Metcalf, the week probably did him really good.
It's helping. Yeah, it's helping. He's still sore, but it's helping.
How difficult at any position, I guess, but that position to play with it is.
Yeah, I mean, guys get shots at you all the time, so he's been just, tough as nails to stick it out, because he was hurt, legitimately hurt, and but he's made it through it, and I don't think in the next couple of weeks he'll be totally well, but he'll be able to play.
Pete, the Adams incident from Monday night, there's been a lot made of that since we last talked to you. Do you have any better understanding of what that was all about?
The Adams incident?
Him yelling at the
Oh, on the sidelines. Yeah, he got hit in the head, and whatever happens. I under the pressure of the game, and he had a concussion. He had a legit concussion, and also I think. We got to give him a little slack there. I know he apologized, for stuff. I don't even know that he remembers what he said. So because he was knocked pretty good, but he's come back out of it, and he's I think he's done the very classy thing in how he's handled it from that point.
Did you hear anything from the NFL on Geno's the late hit or whatever?
Yeah, I did. It's a tackling situation that was scrutinized heavily last year, and then we heard a lot of opposition from the players' side of it, and all about that tackle that occurred, and we did not act on it as a league. We didn't act on it. So the fact that it wasn't so far out of bounds, that it wasn't an out of bounds hit. He didn't get fined for an out of bounds hit, so that's okay and all that. But it is something to talk about. Again, we need to bring up the topic because it's a very dangerous situation, and we just need to. I've already been in contact and talking about it and trying to, get some feel for where everybody is on it. But the league had decided last year to not act on changing that. It's kind of the horse collar tackle that that in the pocket is different, and so I'm not seeing anything malicious that was done, or I'm not saying any of that. I just think that we need to talk about that again, and it's a topic that's that I hope we'll bring up when when the season's over. There's nothing we can do about it right now.
Did the league give you the impression that would have been penalty previously?
It wouldn't have been. No, from what I gathered, it isn't a penalty, and so and it wasn't an out of bounds hit, illegal hit out of bounds either, according to the league. So. I'm going along with whatever they're saying right now, but I'll be talking about it when the time comes, a lot.